Greetings. This is Brother Eric Basir. I'm a co-organizer with Justice Coalition, also a local 308 union steward, elected ATU delegate, local 308. The Justice Coalition, we're a rank and file caucus of local 241 and local 308 workers at the CTA and PACE bus. There is a tentative agreement that was released, and there's some very important things that y'all need to know about. And for those who might be familiar with me around work in the union office, I'm also known as the boogeyman. So let's get started right away. So if you go to chicagotransitworker.com, there's a third button from the top. It says view the official CTA ATU contract proposals. And when you get to that, just click on that right here. And you'll see it says 2020 contract document. So it's called the 2020 contract because our 2019 agreement expired on December 31st. Okay, but even though this stuff came out in 2022. So we have all the contract proposal documents, then we have the tentative agreements, we have some announcements, we have them on individual pages, and then at the bottom we have them compiled as entire documents. It is critical that you read both. I know you're saying we're separate, we have one contract, it's the same employer. We do very similar jobs. Is critical that we know what's going on, because if you vote yes based on just what you see at 308, or you vote no based on what you see in 241, you really need to know what both are. And as you're going to see, as I'm going to show you, there are things in both that are horrible. There's some things that are good, and I do want to give credit. I know on the 308 side, the Vice President Mark Weems, for paying attention to some of the things the part-timers brought up in contract proposal meetings. But there's a this little poison pill with all of this. So I plan to break that down for you. This might be a little long, a little boring, but maybe you can make something that's more interesting. So you should be able to see on screen what I have here from this page, chicagotransitworker.com. You can view all these documents online. You do not need to download any of them. So let's just go right to the first one. And we're going to start with the big dog in the house, which came from 241, but this is called the Locals 241 and 308 Tentative Agreement. All right. And that's what our contract is. It's we all bargain together. So make sure you read this document here, this introduction. This is definitely written by the lawyers. I've read Keith Hill's writing, President Hill's writing, President Dixon's writings. They do not write like this at all. So the lawyers made this contract, okay? And that's why we didn't know about it for 2 years. It was just popped up on us, and now we're going to be voting on it possibly next week or the week after. We should have had multiple meetings, weekly updates. Any real union would have a rank and file bargaining committee where there would be workers from each classification, bus and rail, present at each contract meeting. That was not the case. Everything was done in secret. And when things are done in secret, you're guaranteed there's going to be some problems. I'm not going to read that. Okay, so the terms of the agreement is from 2020 to 2023. The first problem with this, it should be from 2020 So it should be 2020, 2021, and 2022. Okay, but this is 2023. One issue with that is when we go to the Amalgamated Transit Union Constitution, the only agreements that are accepted as binding at the ATU are those that are in writing specifying the union, giving the LU, which means local union, that would be 241 and 308, and legally signed by the officers of the same. Now we have to approve it before they sign it, of course. It shall be the aim of the local unions to make short-term contracts, except in exceptional cases deemed by the international president with approval of the General Executive Board. These are people we never meet, we never see in ATU headquarters. To justify a longer term, no contract of any kind shall be entered into to exceed a period of 3 years by any local unit where the continuous contract form is used. It shall be so provided as to open every year if possible, and in no case shall it exceed the provision of 3 years without being open for revision. Okay, so is this that case? I mean, when you're in these meetings with the union leadership, you have to ask them, is this what this is you reopen this? Did the international president, the IP, the international president approve this? Okay. And this is pointed out one of our co-organizers as well. Everything I'm telling you pretty much comes from other co-organizers and co-workers that have been analyzing this thing. Okay, bonuses and across the board wage increase. So where does this bonus come? What are you talking about, bonus? It sounds nice, it looks nice. Again, this stuff is written by lawyers to sell an idea to you. It's not the collective bargaining agreement, and I want to show you that. So we can do that. We go to Justice Coalition, ChicagoTransitWorker.com, know your rights. When you get there, you'll see what's called Contract 2019. Okay, now that's the whole collective bargaining agreement. It's a huge document, but the way we put it on here, you don't have to download the whole thing. It's 478 pages. Okay, and this is how it should look. What you're getting, the tentative agreement, doesn't look anything like this. Look at all this. Because what the tentative agreement does is it changes all these, not everything, but it changes some of these things. So we're not getting the changed language. We're not seeing the old language or the new language. And that's what we've done at the Chicago Transit Justice Coalition with the workers' contract. Is we've been working on this for many years now, a couple years, going over 2 years now. And when we go through each point, we put strike throughs and what's changed, and what's being eliminated gets strike through, what's being added or changed is in red. That's the way it should be. Not this thing with these nice words. Okay. And here's those strange years again, and you'll see you don't see a wage increase for 2020. All right, so I'm sure the officers or the lawyers have an explanation for this, but the bonus thing is weird because the whole hazard pay issue. And most likely, if we have to find this out, we got to get the facts from these meetings. Okay, so make sure you all attend the meetings and ask, what is this bonus, right? Talk with your coworkers, come up with these questions and demand the answers. If you're not satisfied with the answers, continue to press, or just say no. You just can't accept something you don't fully understand. It appears to be related to the hazard pay at the that was sent in these proposals that we have in our archive. Let me just go right here. Justice Coalition, ChicagoTransitWorker.com. Click on the contract proposals button. And down here, we can see the ATU proposal that was We can look at 308 or 241. And when we look at it, we'll see it. We'll see some proposal items. And I believe the hazard pay, I thought that was in here. Excuse me. So I was prepared. Just scrolling through this for y'all. This is the proposals from earlier this year, okay? There's nothing in here about that bonus, okay? So that just popped up on us, right? So you're like, what is this bonus thing? Yeah, good question. And why the missing year, right? And some people have argued that the bonus is actually more than if you had that for that missing year, but still, why not just give us the missing year and then put a bonus on top of that? What is this? Is this some kind of trickery? Because it goes to 2023 and it's a 4-year contract instead of a 3. This doesn't smell right. I'm not going to spend too much time on the wages. People have argued, well, how come mechanics, and this would be rail car repairers too, if you look at I believe it's in there at 308 maintenance wage increase. So people, co-workers have argued. I'm a repairman on the bus rail side, and we've argued that different skill sets and people go back and forth. But here's the thing: instead of fighting over pieces of pie, smaller and smaller pieces of pie to try to get a bigger slice, let's make a bigger pie. Let's get the wages up for everybody. Let's hit that 104% for everybody, right? And then we have specialties within that those classifications of mechanic or repairman on the rail car repairer that you get additional premiums on. Some people disagree with that, and that's fine. But this is something that is a point of controversy. Operators should make more. We have this skill. We have this. Actually, if you think about it, and I've been an operator, it takes skill. So it's not that you're not skilled, and they keep calling us unskilled labor as operators, but it's actually a skill. It should be a craft with a real apprenticeship and a journeyman and that kind of thing. Same with flagging, same with customer assistant, but this is something we have to fight for. And that way people aren't fighting against each other, being pit against each other. And that's something we have to be aware of. So the layoff protection. So instead of 2010, there's a layoff protection in the contract. So I won't get into the full explanation, but if you go to the contract, okay, it's going to be early in the beginning. I believe it's Article 2. No, it might be Article 3. Yeah. No reduction in pay, wages, employees hired after, right here, this section and down, you'll be able to find those details. So that means this layoff thing with seniority and whatnot won't knock out so many people. But oops. But let's get right back to, I want to get to the real stuff that's very dangerous here. So new sick pay for part-time employees. So Article 15.3 of the agreement will be amended to provide sick pay. All right. And that's way down here. Right here, accident and sickness. And it is listed just for full time. I keep losing my place. I apologize. sick time for part-time employees and allowing sick pay to continue where part-time employee turns over to full-time until the employee is eligible for full-time benefits. The agreement shall be amended. So that would be in 15, Article 15. Now here's the problem with this. Everyone should have these sick pay premiums. Okay. You know, if you're sick, you should just, you know, be able to earn that time off. You should just have, it should be plain and simple, not complicated, a percentage of the pay or a certain dollar amount. Everybody should get it, but we should be full-time. After 6 months, everyone should be full-time, because this makes it a little complicated. It's good that we want part-timers to have this, but we want part-timers to be full-time. And the key is the pension. When we have more people paying into the pension, we'll have a stronger union. We'll have less poverty. Okay. Now your wages are the first 3 days of such incapacity, but all of that is broken down in the contract, and that's not real pay, like 100% pay. Okay, so when you go to the contract, let's see if I can zoom down real fast here. It's probably right here. I hope I didn't go too far. It might be still loading. Okay, attachment A. Show you. That's the dental. It should be 15.3. Oops, I went too far. There you go. So you see, if you got less than 5 years, it's gonna be $230 for the week. Okay, if you got 20 years or more, it's 260. It's really hard to live off that if you're really sick. You know, it'd be best to just let people earn sick pay. Okay, and you have that for the part-timers. Let them earn some days. Let the full-timers earn some days. Yeah, I'm just going through the workers contract here, and let's type this in right here. All right. So you should have the 7-day sick book, the sick pay, what we just saw, that 240, whatever, because that sometimes you're sick, like you're really knocked out for more than a couple days, sometimes a couple weeks or a couple months. That's where that comes into play, right? It should be increased, of course. But you should also earn paid sick days, like fully paid sick days. Like, I'm sick today. I need my day. I need my 8 hours full, right? So part-time and full-time temporary should be able to earn that. And then also it should be for full-time. And we have that in the workers' contract. This is an alternative contract to what is being sold to us. And it's really something you should look at. ChicagoTransitWorker.com, and it's called the workers' contract. It's superior to this thing that they're giving us. So the part-timers need to be full-time after 6 months with a clean record. The wellness benefit, the vision benefit. So you're going to get something for your dependents now, okay? But that kind of follows what they're doing for the non-union workers. So it's not anything, how can I say, it's not anything extraordinary. It's not anything cutting edge, right? So that's what we have to do as you know, union workers, is what we do should be on the cutting edge, not trailing or lagging behind with everyone else. I'm having trouble finding it here, but it's down there at the workers' contract, where you need to have 100% coverage. But this is something, right? This is something. There's some with flex pay, again, the non-union CTA workers have it, so now we're gonna have it. So again, we're lagging. We're not doing anything that's, pioneering or revolutionary in any sense. We're just kind of following the trend a little bit that's already at the CTA. Prescription drugs, yeah. The laborers picking rights. Okay, so picking twice a year. Maintenance is going to have that too on the 308 side. There is something here that is I think positive. And so the total part-timers on the property goes from 25% to for 25% of the full-time operators down to 12% for the remainder of the contract, and there'll be a cap on that past it so that they can't put it back up. And that's what we want, that's one way to get full-time jobs, but it's still not enough. It's half. In order to save our pension, we need all. If you don't have money for your uniform, they're going to take it out of your future payment. That's stupid. Just give people a uniform. In the workers' contract, we have that. Once you qualify, you should be given an allowance. Special part-time operators, I don't know why that's there. So here is something I really want you all to understand. Microtransit. Okay, now 308, you'll see in the tentative agreement, there's nothing there for microtransit. Okay, and this is why it's important that what's going on in 241, because it's the same contract. So if you vote, if what I'm about to tell you about microtransit appalls you, then you have to vote no on the contract, even though it's not in 308. It's in 241, because it actually does affect us, because it affects the pension. And I'll show you how. So let's look. Microtransit. If the CTA has need to implement a microtransit system, the parties agree to meet and bargain regarding implementation of the system and the effects of the system in the event the parties are unable to reach an agreement in the matter. Shall go to binding arbitration, but the terms and conditions of the agreement shall not be affected until the arbitration award is issued. So you know what happens when we give it to an arbitrator, right? Yeah, this is what we do, right? They say, if you vote no, we're gonna have to go to arbitrator. No, that's not your only choice. You send it back to the leadership. You tell them we want it better, and we got to do some action. We got to do some collective action. Okay, I don't need to say it here because this is a public recording, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, that's what unions do. Real unions organize for action. They don't tell the members, oh, we'll take care of it. We'll just go to our secret meetings and everything will be fine. No, that's not how it works. The members must be involved in the bargaining. Members must be involved in the debating over action and deciding the action. And the leadership's job is to follow the will of the members. And that is in our Constitution. I'm gonna go there real quick. It's called the Preamble. Okay. And yeah. So in our union, we advance our interest as workers, create an authority whose seal shall constitute a certificate of character, intelligence, skill, build up an organization where all the working members of our craft can participate in the discussion of those practical problems upon the solution of which depends our welfare. So the solutions we come up with as a union are based on what we discuss all the working members, not just the ones on Keith Hill's private Facebook group, not just the ones on Deborah Lane's officer information group or page, whatever the hell it's called. It's everybody. Everybody, all. Okay, I digress. So what is microtransit? Let's just pop it up. Let's just go to Wikipedia, right? And let's just deal with the first paragraph. You can read more, but this first paragraph is key. Microtransit is a form of bus demand responsive transport vehicle for hire. Who do we bargain for at ATU Chicago? We bargain for our workers, not others, right? Who our members are, right? The transit service offers a highly flexible routing and or highly flexible scheduling of minibus vehicles shared with other passengers. Basically vans, little vans. And they're going to be autonomous, some of them too. Microtransit providers build routes ad hoc exclusively so as to only match each demand trip and supply driven vehicle and extend the efficiency and accessibility of transit service. So this is all about the on-demand world that we're in now. On demand. And what is that? Is, well, if you need it, you need it. You don't stock up. And if you run out of stock, well, you just got to wait until you have it. It's everything's on demand, on demand. And what happens is we end up having a glut of too much, or usually it's too little. And it's very profit centric. It's highly profitable, but it's not beneficial for workers because you can barely make a living with these kinds of jobs, especially if it's an autonomous vehicle. Possible pickup drop-off stops are restricted, usually within a geo-fenced area, and transit can be provided either as a stop-to-stop service or curb-to-curb service. And that could be from the rail terminal to your house. And what happens is that eliminates a bus route, plain and simple. That eliminated bus route is an eliminated job. That eliminated job brings the pension obligation higher on the workers. Less people in the pension, less full-time jobs, more poverty in our communities. While we invest money in building bridges and tracks, extending the red line, which we need, we also have to invest in the people that live in those communities through full-time jobs. And that's not what microtransit does. That's not what it's gonna do. We have mechanics, we have repairers that work on these buses and the trains. We're gonna have less buses and trains to work on if we allow this. Proponents argue conceptually microtransit fits somewhere between private industrial transportation, cars or taxi cab or ride sharing companies, and public mass transit bus. And that's it, ride share. I wanted y'all to see that. Ride share. Get your Uber, right? We're gonna make that a part of our microtransit system at the CTA. Is that what that is? See, all of that is gonna have to be hashed out. But why are we putting it in our contract and then saying, well, if we don't work it out, we're gonna give it to an arbitrator and that'll be binding? No, no, no. That's very dangerous. We should have more mass transit. We should have more buses, more trains, but clean and safe. How do you do that? Cops all over the place to arrest all the bad guys? Well, that's what some believe. I disagree personally. But when you have more uniformed full-time employees, guess what? They invest in their communities. They build their communities. They invest in, they buy properties, they buy houses, they get a car, they save money, they spend money, you see. And then when we have more employees who are in their uniforms on these trains and buses, two-person crews, the riders feel safer. They want to come and ride on our transit system. And they don't want to deal with Uber, some stranger. And that Uber and these small micro transit operators, I guarantee you their wages are going to be pretty bad. Okay. Excuse me. I don't know how that happened. Must be the snow. Sorry. This is bad, everybody. So look into it. Some say it's good, fine. But I'm telling you, anytime we're gonna bargain over this stuff, that's bad. We should be bargaining for more jobs, more full-time jobs. And we have that in our contract, actually. Sort of. This right here in the beginning, people love to talk about can't tell the company what to do. We have something called union recognition. The authority recognizes 241 and 308 as the sole and exclusive bargaining agent for all of its employees, including, without limiting, the generality of the foregoing, the employees having these job titles or classified grades. Okay, so we are the bargaining agent when it comes to our safety, the rules that affect us, everything, the vehicles, all that stuff. And this is affecting us. This is going to affect us. This is going to take away jobs. All right. Now here's the other stinky. So there's a couple stinky things here. Okay. So the first stinky one that I was talking about was the sick pay. That's kind of stinky because it keeps the status quo of a part-time workforce. So the leadership and the lawyers said, okay, well, we can at least give them the sick pay and we'll reduce the total amount. Okay, all right. It's sort of stinky. But you can see, I'm sure you all are thinking about it. You're like, well, that's pretty good though. If the part-timers can go in the sick book and get paid, as opposed to before where they just don't get paid, that's a benefit. Yeah, yeah. So we don't want to get rid of that, but we really want to focus on full-time jobs for all. This is the time to do it during this pandemic, during this economic depression. This is the time you really fight. Not like, oh, they don't have the money. Oh, they don't have. Now the money's there. You got to understand, in our country, we've spent just this year over $700 billion on weapons of war. We can afford public transportation that has full-time jobs for the employees and safe and clean vehicles for the worker, for the riders. We can afford that. So but the real stinky thing here, one of the big stinky things is microtransit. Okay. Now the second stinky thing, in my opinion, the second real stinky thing is fitness for duty examinations. Okay. This appears to me to be punishment of workers who struggle with obesity. They've been on coworkers with these sleep apnea things and making them pay for tests and pay for machines. And it's just horrible, especially for the part-timers. You're not going to put this in our contract. I don't know why this should be in there. Not in their contract. We can bargain for it outside of the contract. But I don't think this is good to put in there because, you know, fitness for duty. A phase in of this. What do you mean a phase in? So then what's the whole thing going to look like at the end? There's so many questions about this thing. And if you're required, you do it on a work day, and you know you'll be paid. Okay. But you know we got to do all kind of other things. You know, why add this? If the employees are sick or overweight, what kind of here in the pandemic, you got these flagmen and these bus operators who are actually in the middle of nowhere at times. There's nowhere to get food, decent food, you know, and then you got some CAs at stations, rough areas, things closed down. What are they going to get? You know, the warming buses type thing, warming trains, you know, it's scattered around. It's inconsistent. No, no, no. There's too many problems already on the workers. Now you're gonna put this here for fitness for duty. And what they tend to do is they're gonna say you're not fit, and they're gonna take you out of service and punish you because you're fat, basically. Just insult people like that. It's not right. It's not right. You know, and again, this is another thing where it's like, well, the majority of your people seem, or many of your people have obesity issues. Many of the workers are in communities that are starved, basically, of nutrition. Okay, so you're punishing them for being in those disadvantaged communities. And see what this comes to is, well, you have a majority Black and Latino workforce. Yeah, and it's expensive to invest in people that you think aren't worth it. And sisters and brothers, some of the most disgusting things I hear, and you know, I know there's some coworkers out there saying I'm a white man. No, I'm a Black man. But to hear my own Black coworkers say, if the CTA wasn't run by the N-words, or if it wasn't all Black people, it'd be better. You know how we are with this and with that. We need white people to take over. Really, really. You know, you do see in this tentative agreement that this is keeping us poor in our communities, right? Blacks and Latinos. You know that. Part-time jobs, you can't build wealth with that. You know that, right? You don't have a pension, right? We got these 8-year-old CSAs. We got 10-year-old flagmen with nothing. Some CAs don't even have a stove that works. What is this going on here? And you're gonna say, well, we need, you know, it's just we need it's the kind of people we have, and it should be all, it's too many Black folks. No, no, this is not acceptable thinking. But it's that kind of thinking that allows this kind of thing to happen. So I'm trying to get y'all to stop, trying to get y'all to reorientate your thinking. Start loving who you see in the mirror and your coworkers, and not trying to worry about electing people who are going to help you, or some outside union is going to help you. I mean, look at this. This is horrendous. Here's another stinky. This is really stinky here. Okay, now we're in the 241 agreement, but I'm telling you, y'all, 308, this is coming for you. Apprentices, which means second chance. They're really not apprentices. They're just, I'm sorry, it's slave labor. They're doing the same jobs as the full-time servicers in bus and rail, but they're paid less. They have crap benefits, and they can be dumped after 12 months. Mopping of buses has been added as a job duty under the apprentice agreement. Y'all can't let that happen. Y'all can't let that happen. It's bad enough we got apprentices doing all other kinds of stuff they really shouldn't be doing. Janitor work, working in the yard. I know sometimes, because especially when you're on the rail side, man, you need a break from that platform. That's why we got to have full-time jobs for all. This apprentice thing, 6 months, you're clean, you drop clean, boom, you're in. You're in. You got your second chance. You're not going to keep being punished because of your felony. It's ridiculous. But you know why it is? It's because you're Black. Generally, it's a majority Black and Latino workforce. And we think this is as good as we should deserve. It's not. You don't deserve this. You deserve a 33% raise. Not that little pittance up there. You deserve full-time jobs. Not this crap. Mopping the buses. Okay, so you sweep the buses and maybe you're getting away with mopping the buses. The manager's telling you to do it. You don't even know about that. Okay. So you got to look in the contract. And if y'all ever want to know, you can reach out, look at us. It's attachment O. Okay. You're not supposed to be doing that kind of work. Okay. It's in here. It's in here. Sorry, I don't have it ready for you, but look in there. I believe it's attachment O for the second chance program. Your job duties are very limited. And now they're going to add mopping. So they're going to take away more full-time work. And so what are they going to give them on the rail side now? What's coming up? What are they getting away with? Because they're setting up past practice, having second chancers doing stuff, cleaning graffiti removal with acid soap on the trains. They let go a whole bunch of them after a couple of years. It's terrible. All the service, they worked through the pandemic. They always came to work. Now they kicked them out on the street. What the hell is that? Some of them were 3 years as a second chance. It's disgusting. So you're gonna let them do this? Get away with this? Vote no. The retirement plan. So I didn't get to look at this enough, but there is something though about that I don't know if I interpreted it right from here, but others were saying that if you retired during this expired period of the 2019 contract, you're not going to get your retroactive raise, your retroactive pay. It's just so insulting. It's just so insulting. Let's go to the 308 side. It's very similar. Okay. Raises are the same. It's that silly bonus, the bonus. It's your hazard pay that they probably spent. So your wages will go up, whatever, a little bit. Look at that. That doesn't take care of the inflation. And healthcare trust deductions going down, but your pension is really through the roof. Your pension contribution. It's your money. You're gonna keep it, but it's like it's killing you, right? It's like you look at your paycheck, you're like, wow, half of my check just went to deductions and taxes. It's painful. It's painful. So CSA is going to they're going to be bumped up to $20 an hour or 19. Okay. So the CTAs are willing to do that. Okay. It's nice. Full-time career path. Now this is ridiculous. This shows you that these tentative agreements are sales brochures. CSAs will be eligible to be promoted to blah, 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 blah. Look, it's always existed. There's nothing in this language here that is holding the CTA accountable for doing it, though. You still will be part-time for years. I know CSAs that I worked with when I was a CSA and that I know now, they've been applying for all these jobs and they don't get it. You know what I mean? And they're clean. They got decent records. Okay. No, we need full-time customer assistance. That's it. And we have something in the workers contract that we call it CRO2. All right. And this is the combined rail operator program version 2, and also based on 2-person crews. And right in there is conductor. And you qualify first as a flagman, second as a customer assistant, conductor, motorman. But those people who were CSA or flagman, they can immediately go to full-time, just customer assistant. But if you want to stay that way, that's a frozen, right? You can be frozen because you've been putting in so many years. We got to show the workers respect, right? In our contract. And in the Justice Coalition, we have the workers' contract where we actually change the language and we add the word respect. That doesn't exist in ours. And here it is. The purpose of this agreement is to provide the best and most satisfactory service to the public for the authority to treat its employees with respect and provide the best possible working conditions for the employees. There's no respect in this tentative agreement for us. All the years these customer assistants been helping riders get here and there and everywhere on buses and trains, no respect for them. Bust them down. All right, maximum. All right. So that's like fake. This could be deleted. This doesn't mean full-time career path. Maybe not deleted, but the leadership has got to explain this a little more. What are we holding them to? Okay. Ask them that at these meetings. Increased maximum picking hours. This is so stinky. This is totally stinky. This is horrible. CSAs will be able to pick up to 40. All right, well, why is it horrible, Eric? We need money. You need full-time jobs. You don't need this $20, $16, pick up to 40 because, yeah, you need to pick up to 40 because you're starving. But you need a full-time job. This is a concession. We can't allow this. We have to fight for full-time jobs for all two-person crews, clean and safe working conditions. This has got to go. Now, since the total part-timers are supposed to be reduced as far as operators, that can help. But do we have that for CSAs? That's on the bus side, right? We don't really see that. We don't see that here. After 1 year of service, you can pick one week of unpaid vacation. What is that in there for? It's already in the contract. Why is that here? It looks deceptive to me. After 2 years of service, you can pick 2 weeks. At the end, it's in the contract already in Article 3.6. So look in 3.6. Is it 3.6? Yeah. It's already in there. That I want to show you. This is so horrific. Yeah, almost there. Look it up. Okay, I know I'm gonna lose you. Health insurance, so you can participate in PPO 3, including dependent. That is there already. Or was it PPO 2? I'd have to check the brochure, but you know, so what? But there's no dental. So what good is your health if you can't have your teeth checked? It sucks. This is bad. Uniforms. If you don't want to pay out of pocket, the CTA can provide the voucher, but you have to repay the CTA. What is that? You qualify, you get a uniform. What is this crap? Don't accept this, everybody. Oh, it stinks. Maintenance wage, so that's just like the bus mechanics. Okay, we talked about that. We need a bigger slice. Everyone should be getting paid more. Fitness for duty, same thing as the bus side. It's just horrible. What is this? You're gonna phase in this crap. It just doesn't, it just smells horrible. Please don't accept that. Demand that be taken out. Vision benefits, so your dependent's gonna get 75% of the applicable dependent premium. Okay. Pre-tax flex pay, we talked about that. Prescription drugs, we talked about that. Added picking rights. So we're gonna get twice a year picks in the maintenance side, including the instructors, which is, you know, pretty cool. Okay. That retirement plan thing there just doesn't smell right. Now, this is a little out of order, it seems. Sorry, I think 1, 2, ABC. So C is, oops. I was the one that put this PDF together. I apologize. It's a layoff protection. There's that uniform. So paid sick days. You get that 6 paid sick days per year. All right. 6 paid days. 6 paid sick days. So that sounds like a full 100% pay. It sounds good. What about the full-timers, right? So we want to make sure that that goes with everybody. It's important that part-timers have it. We don't want to take that away. But we want to make sure everybody has it, including the sick book and full-time permanent. This FTTF has got to go. This is no good. FTTF is no good. It's got to go. We can't allow this in there. We have to have full-time permanent. You do 6 months, you're in. You did more than 2 years. You did more than 2 years as a flagman or a CSA, you can freeze as it full-time permanent. Oh, we don't have the money. I don't want to hear about the money. The money's not the problem. The money's there. But we have to fight for it. Get to that in a moment. Almost done. Got dependent coverage. So this is positive. I know Brother Mark Weems paid attention to this that we were hollering about when Ken Franklin was president. So we got that in. So we got dependent coverage now for flagmen. That's good. But again, full-time, permanent, full-time jobs for all. This is the time to fight for it. All right, wellness benefit, etc. Okay, so that page is a little out of order. Now, what do we do? So when you, in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link for a book called Democracy is Power. Okay. And I'm going to just bring this right here. So we'll have this link. This is a PDF of the full book. I want you to get it. It's a free PDF. It's really, really good. And it talks about how the members can take control of the union. We can rebuild our union from the bottom up. Our union is destroyed. Our union is compromised. We have some elected officers that are sincere and they do their best. You know, I have to say, I'm always impressed with the vice presidents of Local 308 and how they work. But unions are more than just about grievances, okay? And we have to fight to improve our working conditions. But the members have to take control of the union. And this book is a guidepost, gives you guideposts in order to do that. This Sunday, when we have this meeting, this is an opportunity for the members to overthrow the leadership from their high seats of business unionism. And I am very disgusted with President Dixon and President Hill and their totalitarian conduct, very undemocratic conduct. They abuse the members and abuse the Roberts Rules of Order, and they do not allow for democracy to take any form. So since they cannot function within democracy, I recommend that we get rid of them and do it nonviolently. And what that can comprise of is when you go to these meetings with them, is you take over the meetings as the members. If you have to outshout them like they do us as members, and then start calling for motions to censure the leadership and to make motions for rank and file strike committees or whatever action committees you come up with. You have to talk with your coworkers. Since I am the one that's being blamed for destroying the union and disrupting the meetings and whatnot, you don't have to worry about that. I won't be around. But you still have the problem of no democracy in the union. We have to develop leaders. We have to have a long-term vision, and democracy is power, is a guide to doing that. If you don't take control of the union on Sunday, Local 241 and Local 308, I guarantee you, you will be stuck with this lie that if you vote no, we have to go to an arbitrator. And you know the arbitrator isn't going to be in our favor. It's not true. It's your union. You make motions in your meeting. Talk with your coworkers, plan, go with an agenda. Look at this book and get ideas from all the case studies in it of what you can do about taking power. When you take power on the job, you take power at the union. You need to be active. The workplace is where you can start to exercise that, but you have to be involved in your union activities. But being involved does not mean sitting there and being quiet. At the Justice Coalition, ChicagoTransitWorker.com, we have classes. Reach out to any one of our organizers. We are organizing Robert's Rules of Order class, meeting class, revolutionary unionism class, all kinds of classes. And you can even teach one if you have something to share to help you members take over the union. I hope you found this interesting. It was very long. I hope that you will discuss with your coworkers, is that money really worth it? Is that money really worth all that stinky stuff, right? I don't think it is. I don't think you should vote yes on this tentative agreement. And when you vote no, you have to take control of the union so that the leadership doesn't give it to the arbitrator. They're going to do it, just like they did the vaccine mandate. They're going to do it. They're going to make their own decisions without you if you don't take control of the union. You have to take control of your union. You have to take control of it. Overthrow the leadership. Overpower them non-violently. 2022 is the year either the union will be destroyed or the union will be rebuilt. Please vote no and then take over your union. Overthrow Dixon, overthrow Hill, and all the executive board members who are telling you to vote yes on this. I showed you the stinky little stuff in the details. It's going to kill us. We have to have full-time jobs for all two-person crews. We have an alternative contract at the Justice Coalition. I highly recommend you read it. It is good stuff. It is not packaged like these lying sales brochures that these lawyers came up with. Bring on the charges, all you haters. But the Justice Coalition is a rank and file organization, and we will continue to exist for whatever you do. Thanks a lot for listening. Good luck in your decision. Peace.